The 1998-99 season will go down as a roller coaster classic that saw Colin Lee's investiture as the new Wolves manager, and a new pride in the team that saw them almost make a coveted nationwide playoff place, only to be denied by a few points and some cruel luck. The new millennium promised great things as Wolves took strides to make a purposeful start to the new nationwide campaign. Wolves' assault on the First Division title began with a tough game away to newly promoted but experienced campaigners, Manchester City. It was to be a thrilling game with a stack of points to take back to Molineux for the Wolves.
Everyone except Mike Stahl inside the Manchester City half as Curl takes the free kick towards Flo, and it got away from Weaver somehow and came back off the post.
Yeah, Flo's unlucky, isn't he? Very unlucky, holds his head, can't believe he's bad luck. Flo just gets a nick on it. That beats Weaver, but comes back off the post. Vikens does well here. He reads it first in front of Keane. Flo just a touch. There's good pace on the ball. Weaver diving to his right, off the post, and Vikens quickly in to clear the ball.
Until it is who concedes the throw. This is Kevin Muscat. Lay off by Robinson, a beautiful one to Robbie Keane! And Robbie Keane's deadly finishing proves yet again why he's Wolves' most prized asset.
Well, isn't this a nice, patient build-up, Rob? Nice, patient build-up. Muscat drills one in. This is a great ball. Osborne's touch is brilliant. But what about the finish? Weaver just leaves him a wee gap. Right foot, bang, 1-0 Wolves. But Osborne's touch is superb. Fantastic strike, right-footed.
Cleared by Curl, only back to Sean Gota. And here's Cook! And Dickoff reached out for it. Naylor was there to put him off.
Tell you what, Rob, I think it's a glaring miss. This is 6 yards out. The little fella, the hero of Wembley. Have a look at this. 6 yards out. I think it's a glaring miss. He's only got to hit the target. Cook whips it across. There. Sticks out his right foot. If he directs that towards goal, that's a goal.
I spoke to Graham Taylor at Watford, and we had a few meetings and talked. And at the end of the day, you know, you have to look after your family and stuff. And coming to Wolves, I don't see it as a step down. I see it as a big club, a bigger club than Watford. Although Watford's a good, nice club, Wolves is a much bigger club. With potentially, you know, it can go a lot further than Watford can. So if we can. I speak to the people around the club and the lads, and if this club can get into the Premier League, then it's going to be massive. I mean, it's a massive club now, but if it gets up there, then they've got the opportunity to stay there. You know, it's such a big club.
Wolves' disappointing record in the Worthington Cup against lower division opposition was put to the test in a first-round tie away to Wycombe Wanderers in front of a tiny crowd of just over 4,000 fans. As with the game 2 days earlier, with just one goal, this time a Keith Curl penalty that saw Wolves through.
Flores at the far post, wins the header, Corica off the top side. I think we're going to see a penalty. We could see the first card. It may well be the colour that Wycombe don't want. McCarthy on the line, pushed it onto the bar. Wycombe down to 10 men. And Curl comfortably takes advantage of the 12-yard kick.
2 away fixtures and 2 wins. It could not have been better for Colin Lee's side. And facing Portsmouth, they could have been forgiven for imagining it might be 3 on the trot. But Rory Allen put Portsmouth ahead just before half-time after a mistake by Keith Curl. In the end, it was left to Robbie Keane to score his second of the season and save Wolves' blushes. The disappointment of 2 drop points was nothing compared to the revelation of Robbie Keane's departure from Wolves to fellow Midlanders Coventry City, like Steve Froggatt before him, but this time for a cool £6 million. The next trip for the Wolves team was to an out-of-form QPR, who nevertheless on the day conjured up some determined resistance to hold down the newly baying pack of Wolves, featuring Keane's first replacement, Steve Corica, who duly obliged by scoring.
Good run from Sinton, getting booed every time he gets the ball. It's a great through ball for Corica. Just McCluskey to beat. A lovely chip and a fabulous finish. Corica, who's in for Keane. And he scores in his first game in that principal position. Puts Wolves ahead. Pressure's on now. And then get that one away. Curl looked to have been impeded. Peacock! QPR have done it. Just quarter of an hour of the game to go. And Peacock has put them level.
With the loss of another potential 3 points, Wolves at least had the knowledge that their next opponents were coming to Molineux already a goal down from their Worthington Cup first leg, and with an impossible mountain to climb. But it was a game Sir Edmund Hillary might have struggled to watch. After 10 minutes, Kevin Muscat put through his own goal. And 15 minutes later, McSporran put Wickham ahead on aggregate. Just after half-time, he made it 3 on the night. 17-year-old Colin Larkin pulling one back 10 minutes later with his first ever goal for Wolves. Six minutes from time, Keith Ryan made it 4-1 to the visitors, and Molineux was virtually half full by the time Neil Emblin owned his account for the season. Robinson almost took the game to extra time with an injury time header, but it fell just inches wide. A frustrating night for all concerned. Newly promoted Walsall, just 5 minutes across the Black Country, came to Molineux for a rare fixture and went away, to the delight of their many travelling fans, with all 3 points. Walsall went ahead on 3 minutes when Darren Rack's corner was headed home by Tony Barris. On the half hour, Carl Robinson equalised for Wolverhampton. But in stoppage time at the end of the first half, Andy Rammell had a tapper to give Walsall the lead, with what was to prove the last goal of the game. It was a month that had begun so pleasurably for Wolves, but one that ended in despair with 2 misery-laden defeats. 13th position in the league, and panic in the dressing room. With Robbie Keane gone, who would put the goals away for Wolves now? The ground had been prepared for Adi Akinbaye, Wolves' new £3.5 million signing from Bristol City, who made his debut against Steve Bruce's improving Huddersfield team. In the end, Akinbaye was frustrated and Wolves surrendered to the only goal of the game after an hour's play when Huddersfield's Marcus Stewart made the most of what looked a 50-50 challenge with Emblem, but the referee, yards away from the play, pointed to the spot and Stewart easily beat Stour.
I think on the whole we probably deserved to win again, and yeah, it was hard for the team and hard for myself. As I said to you earlier in the week, I'm quite happy the way I'm playing. The most important thing is the team, and we've got to start turning like the pressure we're building on teams into goals. But I think there's signs there today that will come.
Despite the deepening crisis, Wolves kept their heads for the next game, a live Sky fixture away to relegated Nottingham Forest, and put in a performance that secured their first league point for a month.
Quick free kick taken, and Akinbaye here's onside! And a good save the first time, but Paisley there with a follow-up to score his first league goal for Wolves, and he immediately acknowledges the contribution of Akinbaye.
What a ball by Osborne, what a ball, quick thinking, you know, just puts the ball down Osborne. Look at Akinbaye in behind the defender, Osborne spots him, the touch, not bad, on the left foot, the weaker foot, and great, you know, Paisley just following up, taking a gamble, taking a chance. Matricano caught sleeping, I'm not sure of the keeper there, but Paisley pings it in with his left peg.
Here's Ian Wright, who's looking to bring about a Forest revival. Muscat. And now Shimaka. Spread the ball to Alan Rogers. Friedman's waiting in the middle. It's gone beyond him and turned in by Lou. The first time he started a league game for Nottingham Forest. And he's got the goal that has the Forest fans celebrating within a minute of the restart.
Well, it's a perfect start, isn't it? Great play from Shimaka here. Just delightful ball to Rogers. You wonder, will Rogers get his cross in? He's got time. He just scoops it up. A look at the far post, in off the keeper. What a perfect start. Nice little ball, doesn't panic Rogers. Just lifts it to the far post. There's two players. Alou gets in there first. And David Platt celebrates.
Even the away point couldn't stop Wolves sliding to 19th position in the table, and they were to slide even further after a hammering at Bramall Lane that few travelling fans would forget for a long time. It could have been a different story if Akinbaye had not missed this chance just 10 minutes into the game. 10 minutes into the second half, Wolves went 2 down in 90 seconds. Smith fired in the first. And then, a minute later, Devlin headed a second from a free kick. Smith wrapped it up 20 minutes from time for the third, and it was an empty-handed, miserable trip back to the West Midlands for Wolves. A few days later, Wolves found themselves travelling down to the capital in 21st position, their lowest league placing for some time, and facing cash-strapped Crystal Palace with almost as many problems of their own. Despite Eddie Akinbaye putting Wolves ahead on 43 minutes, an early equaliser in the second half by Bradbury gave Palace a share of the points. Still only the win at Manchester City back at the beginning of August, and looking for the moment like genuine relegation candidates, Wolves had to prepare for a record-breaking October to hoik themselves up the table. West Bromwich Albion, the old enemy, were just the job for a Wolves side hungry for points at the beginning of October, but they continued their jinx status over Wolves with a determined defensive performance.
Such a tremendous atmosphere here at Molineux, as there always is for these derbies. Akinbaye, Emblem. Wrestling off the defence into the area. Emblem might try a shot. Miller can only parry it, and Akinbaye's put it in. Just 3 minutes before half-time, a perfect time to score. And Adi Akinbaye, what a fabulous piece of poaching from the big man. Emblem did all the running. Miller could only parry the shot, and Akinbaye put it away. So this corner by Kevin Kilbane. West Brom have pushed all the big men up there. Up goes Matt Carbon! And West Brom, just 14 minutes to go, have pulled level. He wasn't picked up, Carbon, and it was a great header.
Bolton Wanderers were Wolves' 5th opponents at home, their first 4 Molineux games producing 2 draws and 2 defeats. But this time, Adi Akinbaye's 3rd in 3 set the tone for a classy Wolves performance that had the fans back in song once again.
Akinbaye is all over the pitch. McCorica it is who takes the ball through. Emblem. Better approach play from Wolves. They need to do. Back for Akinbaye. 3 minutes, and it's 3 and 3 for Adi Akinbaye. It was a lovely back flick from Taylor. A glorious finish. So much of the play really goals to show for it. Akinbaye again on the right foot. Well, he's looked the part today. This is a real piece of acceleration, a wonderful effort, just over. Bolton it was who denied Wolves that playoff place. Phillips with a very good header. Now another mistake here. Emblem will pick this one up. That fell for him, might try something long range. Just off the post, Keith Brannigan. He had no chance. Emblem, it was a wonderful run, a bit of good fortune, but he certainly made his luck. Down again. Emblem, a good head on. Wolves really need to press home this advantage, because this is where points will count at the end of the season. Akinbaye. Taylor might get in here! And somehow put it over. It was a bit of good fortune again as it came through. Brannigan, no chance. Just over.
Wolves went across to Yorkshire to face a Barnsley side that had started well, but there were no match for them on the day.
And he got caught over on this corner side, but Curl is coming into the action. Emblem comes through with Curl. Turn it on there, and it's going to be there for Taylor. Wolves have taken the lead on 5 minutes. Curl's mishit shot. Taylor's first chance. Akinbaye didn't know what he thought he was doing, but Taylor put it in. Again, he's been everywhere today. And there's a real chance because Akinbaye's made the run. 33 minutes and Wolves are 2 up. Glorious goal. Just dominated the game. Really, Barnsley have never had a look in. But Higdon might get a chance. And there's 8 minutes to go, and Barnsley are back in this game.
It seemed a simple enough conclusion. Bring on the top teams, and Wolves would do the rest. And so for Mohamed Al Fayed's Fulham, up there with the big money spenders. And looking a handful for Wolves? Not a chance.
Emblem. Well, something like the ball's got on the break, and it's a shot the keeper couldn't hold, and it's in by Emblem. And Wolves have sneaked a goal on the break. An hour gone, just about, and the away side take the lead. And could it be that Fulham's unbeaten record could go here? It's Neil Emblem's second of the season. Goalkeeper will be disappointed with that. He should have held it, and Emblem was in very, very quickly to take advantage. Shot was straight at the goalkeeper. It squirreled away from him, and credit Neil Emblem for following up. 1-0 Wolves.
3 wins on the trot, and 2 of them away, had catapulted Colin Lee's men from 22nd in the table up to 10th. Would Port Vale stop the good run? They would have to face the skills of debutant George Darr, who had an impressive debut.
So again, a walkover to collect the ball for Osborne. It's the second corner, forced in quick succession in this early part of the second half. Emblem makes a jump, and Sedgley! He's forced it in! Sedgley bundled it over the line. George Darr was with him. Could be either of them who could have got it, but there's determination for you. Steve Sedgley puts Wolves ahead. Widrington is going to chip this one in. Walsh has got up there! Only 9 minutes to go, and Port Vale have scrambled an equaliser. It was a beautifully floated cross, and Walsh got away from everyone with a clever header. Well, as Wolves push forward ahead for so much of the game. Certainly needs to clear this. Oh, he's lost it. Ruggie up. And a real smash and grab. Port Vale have taken the lead. It's 2 in 3 minutes, and Sedgley, hero to villain, he scored, and now he's put him in trouble. Tinton running at the defence as he has to, and Walsh has pulled him down, and it's a penalty in the very last minute. And now it's Walsh's turn to be the villain, having scored that equaliser. He's given away the penalty. Keith Curley's he's taking his time here. Musselwhite watching him. He's put it the wrong way and saved a point for Wolves. What a vital equaliser. Beautiful penalty.
A point saved rather than lost, and 3 days later, Sheffield United took on Wolves the following Tuesday to show their Premiership hunting status. Kickoff was delayed for 15 minutes because of traffic congestion outside Molineux, as people took advantage of the Kids for a Quid scheme being run by Wolves to celebrate what was their 2000th league game at Molineux. The deadlock of the game for Wolves was finally broken when Neil Emblem rose to send a great header into the net and frustrate United's defensive game plan in the very last minute of the match. Last-minute goals were becoming a Wolves speciality, and there was another one to come at the Hawthorns to rescue a point for Wolves late on against arch-rivals West Brom.
And these, of course, are the circumstances that both sides face in this kind of derby game. McDermott's coming in on the far post! And West Brom take the lead. On unlucky 13 minutes for Wolves. There was no covering at all there, and McDermott steered it home. He needs to find the ball. Wolves can break out now. And Darr, Dear, oh dear, what a terrible, terrible tackle. But he was gone in hard, and Akinbaye's now going in. But that was the tackle. And Dar, I think he might have broken his leg. It really does look bad. It's a painful situation. Sinton, muscling, fighting his way through the good move it wasn't. Emblem, again on the right, looking to hit the shot, but it'll come up. The cross has come across, and Akinbaye steered one in. Just under 10 minutes to go, and what a perfect time to score. Well, he won't have any problem winning friends at Molineux with goals like that against the old enemy.
October was as good a month as September had been appalling for the Wolves, undefeated with 4 wins and 3 draws, and a climb up to 10th position from 22nd. Adi Akinbaye was the find of the month too, with 4 goals to add to his opener in September. Adi Akinbaye started November brilliantly for Wolves with an inspired goal-scoring display in their magnificent mauling of the Mariners. Emblem who got the tackle in. Paisley there. Osborne. Sinton breaking for Wolves. Hitting in a long cross. Comes through to Akinbaye. Goal number 6 for the big man. Number 6 in 6 minutes. Lovely finish. We can look at an away record that suggests they can do things. It's a good-looking cross from Butterfield. Groves! Oh dear. Paul Groves. Butterfield got the cross in, hit the crossbar, in fact. And Groves, well, should have hit the target. Just a minute to half-time. Grimsby still putting the pressure on. It was a good tackle from Osborne. Looked like a kick there. The referee was in a good position to see that. Crowd are baying for blood. And it's Groves who missed that chance. And he's off! If we can have a look at another look close in here. See if there was a kick. Oh yes, he's off. Emblem. He's done so much damage down this left-hand side. Sinton finds him again. It's given Sinton a lot of options here. A lovely header from Akinbaye! It's his second, and that should make it safe. A lovely looping header. Danny Coyne, no chance. So, Wolves go in search of the third. Taylor. Akinbaye comes in again! And it's his third! And it's Wolves' third! The hat-trick man scores his 8th of the season, and he'll take the ball home tonight. A great start to the month, but next up were bottom of the table Swindon Town, who spun out a gritty display and stunned the home crowd by taking the lead on 28 minutes, when Onyura fouled. Wolves, however, clawed their way back level 20 minutes from time with a typical Harvard Flow goal.
Often when sides get forced into these pressurised positions, this is what happens. Onyura, and he's gone over, and it's a penalty. Muscat it was who upended him, and it did look suspiciously like a penalty. A beautiful run, but Muscat missed the ball. Got the man. Stow has to be taught all the tricks in the book. Try and keep this ball out. Great pen. Swindon ahead. Beautifully taken. Wonder where the goal is coming from, really. Chested down, and it's a mess in the Swindon defence. Flo went for a strike, couldn't get it. Turn back goalwards again, headed on, and Flo's onside. Oh, but Flo! It's his first goal of the season, and he's waited a long time. But what a beautiful finish. Right in the top corner. Just what Wolves needed.
Wolves hadn't looked to be suffering from any major problems, but in the 55th minute, Town took the lead. Wilnis sent over a deep cross from the right, and Scowcroft headed home after Stow, who managed to get his fingers to the ball as he fell backwards, agonisingly found himself unable to keep it out of the net. 3 days later, it was a repeat performance at John Aldridge's Cup Star side Tranmere Rovers. A goal by Wayne Allison early in the second half, taking all 3 points.
Here's Allison! Can he not? Yes! Oh, yes! What a fabulous strike by Wayne Allison! Oh! A dreadful mistake by the number 24 Scott Taylor. And Wayne Allison, you don't give him chances like that, because he's buried it.
November had started so well for Wolves with the Grimsby victory, but yielded only a single point from the remaining 3 games. By some statistic miracle, Wolves only dropped a single place from 10th to 11th, and could still sort things out by seeing out the old millennium in style. Wolves had clearly reserved their greatest display of the season so far for the first Friday in December, and a live fixture against Joe Royal's Manchester City promotion hopefuls. It was a game that had Molineux positively humming with excitement and great goals.
Little turn from Osborne. Sinton. Onto that right foot. Crosses it in. A looped header there. And Akinbaye will put it in. 6 minutes gone, and it was Emblen's looped header. Weaver could do very little about that. And Akinbaye, the predator, to score his first goal of December. It was Emblen's header. Weaver was unlucky, and even more unlucky to find Akinbaye there to put Wolves ahead. City have brought an absolutely fantastic following here tonight, again in the light of the journey down from Manchester. Not a terrifically long journey, of course, but being live on telly, that's still a good bit of support there. Sinton, Branch, turns brilliantly! Michael Branch, his first game at Molineux, and he's got off his duck. 19 minutes gone. Look at the turn. Weaver had no chance. Kennedy nowhere near that. Not a good header from Vikings, but it could do the trick. Very messy. Cross in. It's in! City have pulled one back, and surprise, surprise, it's Sean Gota. Right on the half hour, the number 10, ghosting in the 6-yard box. It was a poor goal to be conceded by Wolves. It was a good cross, well driven in. Gota was the one. I say Gota, it looked for a moment like it might have come off Naylor. Emblen will look for Branch. Akinbaye and Branch linking up very well already. Oh, and he's done it! And how better to link up than that? He's done it again! Michael Branch, and what great service he got there from Akinbaye. The cross looked quite harmless at first. Akinbaye went one almost to the byline, hit a low cross in, and Branch got to it first, just in front of Edgehill. Well, Wolves are 3-1 up. It's a marvellous ball. Paisley can turn it in here. He can, and it's a goal! Kevin Muscat had made the run, the last person you expected to see, arriving perfectly on cue, and Wolves have 4. I don't think Nicky Weaver can believe it. Paisley took this beautifully on his chest, a little flick with the head, and he saw Muscat and picked him out beautifully.
Wolves started their FA Cup campaign with a journey up the M6 to face an in-form Wigan side who threw everything at them, but in the 3rd minute of injury time, Wigan fell to a bullet header from Carl Robinson that gave Wolves a place in the 4th round draw and the hope of a tie against a Premiership team.
Wolverhampton Wanderers looking the more likely right at the death here. Simpson drills it in, header comes in, oh, it's in the back of the net! Wolverhampton Wanderers stands to the death. It's the number 4, Carl Robinson. And now the Latic's going to go down to only their first defeat at the JDB Stadium. Tremendous corner kick by Simpson. Robinson ghosted in ahead of the Wigan defence and headed it into the top corner. O'Neill couldn't keep it out, and the Wolves have the lead.
Another M6 journey faced Colin Lee's side for a fixture at Lowly Crew. In a frustrating game in which Wolves threw everything they could at the Railwaymen, only to be clubbed by a late winning goal from Tate, despite Oak's valiant efforts. With just over 3 minutes of the game left, there was no way back for Wolves. Wolves raised their next game for the visit of Midland rivals Birmingham, and what a great game it proved to be.
Flick on here. Well, there's a bad mistake, and Oakes has come here. But the opportunity will come here for Hughes. And although Oakes was able to save O'Connor's shot, I think it was, Brian Hughes has put Birmingham City ahead. It's quarter of an hour gone, and it was Martin O'Connor that burst through. Great save it was from Oakes, but Brian Hughes kept his head. Birmingham go ahead. It's a good looking cross. Fumbled, it's going to be in there by Akinbaye. Kevin Paul, well, he thinks he was fouled. So the referee having a word. I don't know if it's going to be given. It is given. Let's just have another look at this. The throw was turned in Sinton, a superb cross. And Oakes there, was he challenged? He certainly was challenged by Branch, but it's a goal. Paisley. Surrounded, he gets past both of his men. A lovely cross. Deserved better, Paisley. He had the attentions of Martin Granger, but he managed to turn that cross in and be the corner coming in. It was a lovely piece of skill from Paisley, as the corner is going to be taken, and it's in there! It's in there from Ludo Polle. He got up really well. If ever there was a good time to score your first goal for Wolves,
That's the time.
It was 9 days before Wolves' next game, away to Stockport, but despite a great performance, they went home with nothing to show for their efforts.
Meantime, this is crossing over the far side. There's a player left from Marks, and they've scored! Emblem scored! Good bank on Tony Dinning. Dinning Inez. Oh, what a great goal! He's done it again! He's done it again! Free kick to Wolves. Into the melting pot. Again, they've not picked up at the back post. Oh, and this time they've scored another. And it's almost an identical routine. Ferguson gets across it. Oh, error. Great goal. Magnificent goal from Ian Moore. So there's still 4 minutes to play as we've now completed the 90. Dinning. Jaffo couldn't get to that one. Jaffo can get to that one. And then Moore's away! Moore's away! And Moore has scored! Stockport County have stolen it with 3 minutes to go!
Wolves ended the month with a grateful 3 points, captured at the hands of punch-drunk Norwich, who surrendered to on loan Michael Branch's third goal for the club, scored just after half-time.
Sinton turned his man really well there. Surely was obstructed. But the ball's run on. The referee's set play on. Akinbaye. Branch. Good turn. Oh, he's took a wicked deflection. And it was Chris Llewellyn running back. He's kicked the ball against Branch. And Branch has scored his third for Wolves.
December proved another mixed month, but with 3 home victories, the points in the bag raised them to another place by the end of the month to 10th. It was, however, becoming obvious that results would have to improve significantly if a playoff place was to be theirs next May. Wolves travelled to Ewood Park for their first fixture of the new millennium, ready to improve their points and show they were genuine promotion material.
And if you ever have any doubts about the viability of Wolves as a Premiership club, you only have to listen to the fans. Branch. In comes Naylor! What a beautiful goal! And beautifully worked too. Branch stretched out a leg, pulled it back, and Naylor following up. He started the move, puts Wolves ahead. Increasingly threatening to come back into this game. Emblem felt that had gone out there, but the assistant referee's flag stayed down. The goalward shot, and Austin Steds found the equaliser. Poaching right on the line. He got away from the Wolves defence. It was a beautiful cross. Goal-bound shot which Austin Stad put home. Blackburn level.
Wolves found themselves embroiled in controversy after their next fixture, a tough away FA Cup tie at Premiership strugglers Sheffield Wednesday.
Good run forward from deep by Atherton. Knocks it down, Alexanderson! Off the post and in! And Nicky Alexanderson puts Sheffield Wednesday ahead. Little bit against the run of play, if anything. It's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wolves 0. The First Division club can feel slightly hard done by. Taken short to Muscat. Ball played inside the penalty area, and the header is off the post. Great save by Sernicek. The linesman is flagging, and he's given the goal. It's 1-1. And Wolves are back on terms.
3 days later, Nationwide Division 1 leaders Charlton Athletic, embarking on a club record match-winning run, came to Molineux and went away with all 3 points, despite a brave Wolves performance. But it was Wolves who took the lead on 17 minutes from a Darren Baisley corner, which Flo chested down before tucking away. Charlton equalised in the 42nd minute, again from a corner, Robinson's cross being headed in at the far post by Richard Rufus. In first half stoppage time, another corner, this time from Mark Kinsella, was headed home by Pringle at the near post. 18 minutes from time, Charlton broke away to go 3-1 up when Robinson headed home Newton's cross. A Sinton corner 4 minutes later was forced home by Sedgley, but despite some intense pressure, Wolves suffered their first home defeat since the Huddersfield game back in September. The following Saturday, Wolves found their feet again at Fratton Park to gain revenge over Portsmouth for their theft of a home point earlier in the season. But they left it late.
Been a frenetic opening. He's been run to the byline there. It goes in. Really just taken this. What a goal by Claridge! Against his old club. A classic. Just 25 minutes to go. It's in there. Steve Sedgley. So just 4 minutes to go. Wolves look for the equaliser. Akinbaye might get on the end of it. Branch does! And Wolves have saved it. Must be the last chance. The referee's been looking at his watch. The shot goes in. It's come up Akinbaye! And Wolves have done the impossible and scored a third. Behind for nearly 70 minutes of the game.
Wolves shaped up for their FA Cup fourth round replay against Sheffield Wednesday, starting with a late kick-off in a game that would only finish nearly 3 hours later in dramatic circumstances.
This is Sedgley, feeds Sinton. This could be dangerous if Sinton can get something in from this position. Onto the right foot. Cross one in, Akinbaye! Off the post! And Cernacek hopelessly beaten as goal number 12 beckoned. Well, Wolves won't get any closer than that. Again, it was magic woven on this left-hand side by Sinton with a right foot cross. Akinbaye got away from his marker, and Cernacek in no man's land as the ball came back off the post. How unlucky can you get? Basie's got a chase to get this. He does well. He finds Emlyn on the right-hand side. Bobbing and weaving past Hinchcliffe. It's a delicate looking tube. It's going to go in, and somehow it ended up the wrong side of the line. What a brilliant overlapping run from Emlyn. A teasing cross. Oh, Wolves surely deserve to win this tie. Any other result would be unfair. Well, Wolves have the initiative. They will take the first penalty. And it's going to be Keith Curle, of course. He is an excellent penalty taker. He scored 2 this season. And he's taking the first of 5 for Wolves in this fourth round replay at Molineux. Wolves need to start
with a goal. And they do. 1-0 Wolves to Sheffield Wednesday. It will be England international Andy Hinchcliffe. And the Wolves fans are trying to boo this penalty out of the ground. Paul Simpson on as a substitute for Wolves. And an experienced man will take this second penalty for them. And Cernacek has saved it. Jonk, the most delicate of penalties. 4-goal Michael Branch takes one. Oh, he's wide. And now Gerald Sidon, who's had an absolute nightmare today. If anyone, you'd put money on anyone missing one, it would be him. But it's not to happen. Says he's ready, and so is Cernacek. Wolves have missed 2 in a row. Great penalty. Cresswell. He saved it. Next up is Steve Corica. He puts it in. It's 3-3. Everything rests on this one kick from Simon Donnelly. He's done it, and Wednesday are through.
Wolves continued their climb up the nationwide First Division against an improving QPR side who had won the corresponding fixture the previous season and were optimistic about their chances of repeating their performance.
Another Sinton corner. Emblem goes up for this. Sedgley! Steve Sedgley, they can't stop him scoring. And Wolves take the lead on 20 minutes. Sedgley crept up on the edge of the 6-yard box and volleyed home beautifully. A lovely corner yet again from Sinton against his old club. Sedgley did the rest. It was Muscat's ball. Branch. What an intelligent finish. He's done brilliantly. It was a great ball through from Muscat. Little touch from Branch and finished the job with the head. 2 in 2 minutes for Wolves. Really good to see the others going in. That's Brazley. Looking by. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by the Nigerian! What a volley! Well, it was Brazley's pass, but look at this for a finish. And it's 3 in 7 minutes. And Peacock's got one back. 10 minutes left. Oakes, no chance there, but a little bit of shut-eye in the Wolves' defence. Lovely finish. Wolves can't afford to throw it away. Langley, Slade, and QPR have got a second. In the final minute, it was a good block from Oakes from Langley, but Slade kept his head.
Wolves had already lost at home to their Black Country rivals Walsall earlier in the season, so they were not looking forward to the return fixture at the Vescott Stadium. Despite this, Wolves went ahead a quarter of an hour from time with a goal from Neil Emblem, but in the event, another goal by Tony Barras saved Walsall from defeat 10 minutes from time.
Beasley again from the corner.
Muscat. Back to Baisley, who is now being closed down, but a little bit too late. Emblem! Great header! The deadlock is broken, 14 minutes from the end. Dale Emblem the scorer. That's his 4th goal of the season. The perfect cross, inviting for Emblem. He dived in bravely, and there was nothing that Walker could do about that. Ball doesn't appear to be in the quadrant. Officials say play on anyway. Harper sends it across. Oh, it's a flying header! And there's the equaliser just 4 minutes after conceding the goal. Barris, who scored against Wolves early this season, does it again.
January may have seen the end of Wolves' interest in cup competitions for the season, but 2 victories and 2 good away points saw them finally grab a playoff position for themselves, 6th for the first time this season. Wolves continue their stake for a playoff place with a game against struggling Crystal Palace, themselves desperate for points to launch themselves away from the relegation zone.
Good looking corner. Foley went for it. Akinbaye, and now Sedgley. Quarter of an hour gone, and Steve Sedgley scores his 6th goal of the season. Poor handling by Fraser Digby. He lost control, and pumping it home, Steve Sedgley. Plenty of Wolves men up here as the corner comes in. Branch got a head to it. It's gone in. And it may well have been Foley who got the touch. It was indeed Foley who got a bit of shoulder and a bit of head on it. Foley's made the chase here, looking for Morrison. Martin might get it. He does. A dreadful mix-up in the Wolves' defence. Michael Oates will not want to see that one many times.
Wolves had been beaten at home by league leaders Charlton just a month earlier, so the game at the Valley was a real tester to see if they were about to step up the pace on the league's pace setters. In the event, 3 minutes after the restart, Pringle found himself unmarked on the right of the Wolves box, and he squared the ball to Stewart, who drove it home. "20 minutes later, a headed clearance from Ludovic Polle went straight to Brown, who thumped it home for Charlton's 10th successive win. After the disappointment of the Charlton defeat, Wolves had the chance to bounce back again just 4 days later with the visit of John Aldridge's Worthington Cup finalists, Tranmere Rovers. Goal leaves it in the end. Simpson just pushing forward. That's the ball out to him on the left wing. Akinbaye's moved up into the area. It is Akinbaye! And Wolves go ahead on 35 minutes. Andy Akinbaye headed down. Almost a foot in front of him, but he did enough. Just the answer Wolves needed. Sedgley fancied his chances for a moment, but I think Naylor could try something from here. It is Naylor. Oh, he's caught one in! Right on the stroke of half-time. What a goal! There's nothing Ascherberg could do. He stuck that left leg out, right in the corner. Slide rule precision. Again, it's the goals that count, and that's a fantastic ball by Sinton to Baisley. Might take his man on, might try a shot, he's done it! Darren Baisley, what a goal! Well, he only scored 2 for Watford last year. And look at this, glorious finish. Made all the space himself, right in off the post. Westerberg, nothing he could do. Gained the 3 points, and it's the goals that are important at the end of the season. That's what they'll be counting. This is Akinbaye trying his luck down the right-hand side. Now, there's an option here with Taylor. He can attack the defence. We know he can. It's a good-looking cross. Akinbaye! In injury time, Akinbaye gets his second. A beautifully worked move by Wolves. Taylor did everything right. An inch-perfect cross, out of the range of the keeper. Akinbaye did the rest. And he's on fire at the moment.
3 welcome points, not forgetting a major boost to the Wolves' goal difference. Although more goals were to come in the next fixture against Nottingham Forest, it was a bad-tempered match in which football was often the last thing on the players' minds.
And something happened between Akinbaye and Tony Vaughan. And Akinbaye certainly struck Vaughan, there's absolutely no doubt. But something happened before then, but this is it. Akinbaye getting his hands around Vaughan's throat. And that's the incident, the headbutt. I don't think the referee's got any alternative. Akinbaye is off. Wolves, meanwhile, have this free kick to take. And now Akinbaye is getting in an argument with Keith Curl. And this is nonsense. John Ward is having to escort him off the pitch. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So Baisley takes the free kick. It's in there! Polley has done it! Just 6 minutes. That's a beautiful ball from Sedgley. Baisley. Out to Muscat. Baisley, little flick of the foot. That's a beautiful shot! What a fantastic goal! And Dave Besant, well, he was just a spectator. What a superb finish. Naylor. Oh, what a terrible challenge by Louis Jean. And the play's going on out of your picture. Besant has kicked the ball out, and Branch has played on. And Branch has scored, and, well, Besant was trying to put the ball out for a throw. And I really think Michael Branch didn't realise what had happened. Besant absolutely furious, but you can tell from the expression on Branch's face that was, he wasn't aware of what Besant was up to. Now Curl's getting involved. This is most unsavoury. Wolves are 3-0 up, whatever way you look at it, but it's not a satisfactory situation.
February proved an excellent month for Wolves, who took 9 points from a possible 12 to remain with the continuing chance of a permanent playoff place. It all went somewhat pear-shaped at the beginning of March for Wolves, with a tough fixture at Huddersfield's Sir Alfred McAlpine Stadium.
The ball is from Armstrong, and Vinard will get there. Well, it certainly looked lively, and they're into the penalty area with Smith. Great goal! And it's his first. What a lovely way to get off the mark for a new club. That ball's going to stay in. It spun around all over there. Gorry's in there, Vinard's in here, they let him go. Vinard touches it across. 2 for Town, 2 for Smith. Wolves asleep.
Wolves continued a miserable march with a single goal reverse at Grimsby, never really recovering from a goal scored after just quarter of an hour.
Well, there's only one target, really. Caldecott now, back to Donovan. Oh, nicely inside for Caldecott. This could work out well in a minute. Look at this. Great ball by Darrell Clear in the middle. Overhead kick, Darrell Clear. Oh, yes! Whoa! Get in!
A crestfallen Wolves found themselves facing George Burley's sprightly Ipswich Town side, and starting in the Wolves side for the first time since September the 11th, Harvard Flo may have felt he had a few points to prove to manager Colin Lee.
Simpson, whenever he's been fit, things have been happening for Wolves. Paisley, they've got numbers up now. Branch, first time across, Flo. Turns beautifully! Harvard Flo! After just 4 minutes! And look at this for a striker's goal! Move forward again. Emlyn trying to get on the end of it. Flo! Oh, isn't that cute? Not a very good header from Emblem, but look at this for a finish. Flo acrobatically right in the corner. Wolves have two. Poor looking clearance, but it finds its way through. So still look the team in form. This is Clapham out on the left-hand side. Beautifully inside his man, right foot cross comes across. Scowcroft! With a quarter of an hour to go, and he scored the winner in the corresponding fixture. He's put Ipswich back in the game.
Wolves had picked themselves up in fine style and must have fancied their chances against bottom side Swindon Town at the county ground, but it was to prove a much tougher game than expected.
And then it is a sort of game that they should be winning. Muscat. Oh, it's took a wicked deflection. It's just a matter of hanging on for another 10 minutes or so. But there's a chance for Williams. And Swindon have equalised. Just a chance in the last few minutes. Robinson! What a classic goal.
Wolves must still have been overcome by disbelief from their defeat at Crewe back in December, but with every chance of putting things right when Crewe came to Molineux facing the very genuine threat of relegation.
So it's only one of four, really. Robinson. Sedgley! A vicious deflection, but certainly not undeserved for Wolves. They've roasted Crewe, and now they finally take the lead. Branch is always running into those spaces down the right. All in field, that was such an intelligent piece of play. Robinson turns it through to Taylor! What a finish! And again, wonderful, incisive play by Carl Robinson. And a super finish by Scott Taylor. He's pleased.
Wolves had put things right after their two early away defeats in March, with every confidence of making it 4 victories on the trot after a visit from Stockport County, especially with the addition of on-loan signing from Spurs, Alan Nielsen. As it was, in an attack on the quarter hour, Stockport's Shane Nicholson centred from the left and Ian Lawson was there to head past Michael Oakes from 10 yards.
3 minutes from half-time, Branch was fouled by Martin Taylor. And Curl dispatched the penalty. "20 minutes into the second half, County regained the lead when Dinning beat Oaks with a low drive from 20 yards. With just a minute left, Akinbaye's goalward header was steered in scrappily by Neil Emblin off his chest to grab a point Wolves thought they would never get their hands on. But for the 2 away defeats, March was another good month for Wolves, though the focus was still on the 8 points lost rather than the 10 they had won, with Birmingham and Huddersfield also having a good month. Wolves faced their old adversaries Birmingham on April Fool's Day, wondering if they could pull some magic out of the bag. An early penalty opportunity for Keith Curl, his second in 2 games, was wasted, and in the end, a David Holsworth second-half goal finally separated the sides in a disappointing match for Wolves at St Andrews. Wolves had already taken a point off Blackburn earlier in the season when the 2 sides had met at Ewart Park. This time they were on fire, particularly with the silky skills of on-loan star Alan Nielsen on show.
Got to remember that this is a side that were playing Premiership football not so long ago. The Branch is surely pulled down there, and it is a penalty to Wolves. Keith Curl, this one against Birmingham, the start of the month. Muscat. That's how to take a penalty. So, Souness may have other ideas. Duff, what a goal! What a goal, he kept on going. And Blackburn are back in this game. Sedgley. There's that turn of pace, that little twist. Makes the difference here. A bit of a mixed season for Wolves, but it's all as it counts. Branch pulls it back. Nielsen! Alan Nielsen, it's his 3rd game. And his first goal for Wolves. Branch's cross. Nielsen's finish. Wolves are ahead.
Norwich were the next up for the Wolverhampton Challenge, having had a bit of a mixed season and with very little to play for but pride. In the end, that was all they needed, and a goal from Ewan Roberts just after half-time took all 3 points to keep the East Anglian fans happy.
Swung in towards Roberts! It's Ewan Roberts who scored against his old club. A goal which will mean so much to Norwich City's top goal scorer. The delight obvious. It was a good corner from Adrian Forbes, swept into that Wolves 6-yard area, and Roberts just had a yard on his marker there, Ludovic Pollitt.
Next up were Harry Bassett's playoff hopefuls, Barnsley, experiencing something of a rejuvenation of late, but hardly fancying a Wolves side who'd won 7 of their last 8 home games. In the end, it was down to Adi Akinbaye, who scored his first goal since February just before half-time and hit a second 7 minutes after the restart to give Wolves the points. Eight out of 9 home victories, and Mohamed Al Fayed's nationwide money spinners Fulham to face, who Wolves had already dispatched at Craven Cottage back in October. With the launch of their new kit at what was Wolves' last home game, the afternoon generated an exciting buzz of anticipation in the air for a packed Molineux crowd.
The whole of the Fulham side back. In comes Nielsen! Alan Nielsen, it's his second goal for Wolves, and he came out of nowhere. The ball hung in the air for so long, but what a bullet header. And wouldn't they love to see him here regularly at Molineux? It's a great looking ball to Branch. Loads of space for Akinbaye. It's come back to Branch. He's bundled over in the area. What's the referee going to do? Yes, he's given it. Now it's a case of who's going to take it, because Curl missed one at the beginning of the month at Birmingham. Kevin Muscat. Fancy facing this one, I can tell you. Beautifully put away. That's the way to take a penalty. And doesn't he know it? Sean Locks. Emblem. Oh, lovely skills. Right round a beautiful, delicate chip. The goalkeeper's made a mess of it. Taylor. Goal. It's 3 for Wolves. And the keeper, what was he doing? 5 defenders there, and Taylor, pinpoint accuracy, right in the corner. 3-0 Wolves.
April was the second successive month that Wolves found themselves licking their wounds from unnecessary away defeats, despite the dazzling home form. The problem was that everyone in the top 8 was playing well, and they knew that only a win at Bolton and Port Vale would give Colin Lee's side genuine hopes of avoiding disappointment for the second year running. Wolves did everything they could at the Reebok Stadium to fashion a victory, taking the lead from Ludovic Pollé just before half-time, but Bolton came out for the second half like men possessed, and goals from first Jensen and then 10 minutes later Gudjonsson meant that it would be slide rules and compasses out again for the last game of the season.
So, Baisley with the corner. It's a good-looking corner. Headed out. As far as Naylor. Baisley's got the chance to turn this one in again. Up goes Pollé. Right on the stroke of half-time. What a great time to score. It's a lovely cross from Baisley, and look at Pollé leaping up. So, Curl is shouting and trying to get the Wolves wall organised. Jensen poised to try his luck. He's put it through. Wanderers are level. It's a crucial goal and a brilliant free kick. Both teams have to win. A point's no good. It's so important for Wolves if they can just keep their heads and eke out something here. This is Gudjonsson. He's turned well, he's squeezed it in at Oates' near post. It's 2 in 10 minutes for Wanderers. And maybe a playoff place as well.
If Norwich could get a result at Bolton and Fulham beat Huddersfield, then a Wolves win at Port Vale would be enough to secure them a playoff place, 6th position.
Ludo and Michael Branch from the start of the season, then we would have been automatic promotion there.
Well, I don't think they're going to do it today.
You went to the Bradford game this time last season.
Did you?
But Wolves have got a better chance today than they had then.
Well, at the end of the day, win or lose, you're still going to support them, aren't you? So it doesn't make any difference. Just keep hoping and keep supporting.
If we win today, that's all we can hope for, and then just fingers crossed things go elsewhere. Not a lot of hope, unfortunately.
Are you both season ticket holders?
I actually stewarded the Wolves and did some season ticket holder.
So is that how you met?
No.
I think it just looked
match made in heaven,
yeah.
but no, strangely enough, no.
But you're both locals for Wolves.
Yes, yeah.
And there's never been another club.
Never, ever will be. No.
I mean, to the point that we're getting married and the reception is at the Molyneux.
Is that right?
Yeah,
oh well, when is
September.
that going to be? In September?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be lovely for that to be the second month of their season in the Premiership?
It could be Man United at home, couldn't it? That day?
Couldn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah, as long as it's not Albion away.
Yeah.
After Colin Lee's men had tried everything with very little success for almost 80 minutes, Lee took the difficult decision to substitute Molyneux favourite Michael Branch and bring on Carl Robinson, who'd scored a winner at Swindon 3 weeks earlier. It was a justified move, Robinson hitting the post almost immediately and then firing in a late winner with just 6 minutes to go. Even with the disappointment of learning that Bolton had won, Lee's men could still be proud of a well-earned 3 points and 7th position yet again at the end of a hard-fought campaign.
Naylor now slides one in. Akinbaye off the post by Robinson. Vale caught flat again. Over it comes, over the heads of everyone. Naylor again takes it out wide, centres it in. And this time, Robinson didn't need a second invitation to put the ball in the back of the net.
You know, I said at half-time we needed to get the ball wide, albeit we really only had one wide man in Baisley, and we certainly missed the likes of Sinton and Nielsen this afternoon. Nielsen was unable to play with a calf injury, which he picked up.
Is that the end of Nielsen?
Yes, unfortunately, yeah. He's done a fantastic job for us, and I'm sure, you know, the fans and everyone can recognise what a great player he is. But no, he's done marvellous for us, and he really enjoyed it here. I mean, I hope we've helped him, and he's certainly helped us.
And a great compliment to you that Ludo Polo, one of your signings, should be the fans' choice as Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been outstanding. You know, I mean, if you watch that game today, and he's there all the time, isn't he? He's breaking down attacks, and you know, he's got quality about him. And you know, for £350,000, I think he's arguably the buy of the season. And he's a marvellous player, and he's a really nice fellow as well, which helps obviously in the change room and everywhere else. But I mean, he was a very, very popular choice with the fans, and the fans' choice was a very popular choice with the changing room, because every single player can recognise the type of player we brought in.
And Branch and Akinbaye, again, it's a slightly different Wolves side to the one last year. Do you think it's a better Wolves side?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without any shadow of a doubt. We've got younger, hungrier, quicker, faster players. I don't think we had any real pace in the team last year, and I think the decision to sell Robbie and use the money to bring that to the football club was correct. I think if we'd kept Robbie, we might have been playing in a similar game as West Bromwich or Walsall today. So, you know, I believe we've done the right thing.
Now, close season, what are your plans now? You're going to go into the market again, be looking for anybody?
I've already got players earmarked, yeah. I mean, we can't stand still at a club like Wolves. You've got to try to improve. We failed this year, possibly because of the 2 months at the start of the season. You know, it was an unknown.
We were 22nd.
We never had the team together, you know, so that's cost us. I don't believe the Bolton game cost us. I believe that other things have cost us. So, you know, if we can start off a lot better next season and bring in a few players during the close season, we've got a board meeting coming up in the middle of May. I'll know my direction on that then. But I've got a few players earmarked, and hopefully we'll be able to secure their services.
Will the next season hold the key to Premiership opportunity for a Wolves side growing in strength and confidence? The money Wolves had got for Robbie Keane had certainly been well spent, and there was still a lot to be optimistic about for the season to come for Colin Lee and John Ward's Wolverhampton men.